story here on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Similar story is in the Trust, so we'll take a look at all of them together. Bloodletting, Tinubu shifts Kaduna trip, heads for Benue.
Right. Thank you, Sheriff.
Sir.
Well, I'm glad that the president has deemed it fit to do this, and he should be given some credit for it. Some people still believe that it could have moved faster, but I think it's important to know that the IG is already on site, and the what they call Chief of Defense Staff is already on site. And to move a president to a place where this has happened, you need to clear all the security risks that are involved therein. So we will cut him that slack and say, well, it's good that he thought it fit to cut his Kaduna trip and head for Benue. Not just that, what is he going to do in Benue? Now, the statement from his office is very clear. The statement says that during his stay, President Tinubu would meet with all stakeholders, including traditional rulers, political, religious, community leaders, and youth groups to seek a lasting solution to the hostilities. I think that implies that the president would either be there till late or will be ready to work till the next day, because he will have to really, really take his time to get to the bottom of this. And the story says that in preparation for the visit, President Tinubu has already dispatched the Secretary to the Government, IG of Police, heads of intelligence agencies, and the NSA, and Chairman of the Senate and House Defense Committees to Benue State to prepare the ground. And also, some decisions might have to be taken on the spot. So it appears that he's going well prepared for this assignment. It also says that the president is expected to hold a town hall. Now, this is not this is not the town hall that you talked about during different from it's going to have a town hall meeting with all the stakeholders during the visit. So that is the extent to which his presence is going to be felt there. But that would be the first part. The second part would be to make sure that this doesn't reoccur again. That it doesn't reoccur again. And I was just telling the gentleman who presented the sports program, I said, why do these things keep happening? I said my suspicion is two major things, two major reasons. One is the fact that persons of influence within government are involved in this enterprise, because it has an international political dimension, but we won't go into that now. It has so many dimensions into it, and it's impossible to convince me that people within government are not of influence, are not sympathetic towards this. The second reason the authorities need to look into is the morale of our security services themselves. How ready are our troops or our gentlemen out there? How ready are they to mobilize and put their lives on the line? How have we motivated them? You all know the story of the soldiers who have not been paid since the Civil War, end of the Civil War. As at Father's Day, they were still telling me that nothing has changed. In spite of all the things that I've done, talking to this one house committee on this and that, we've done all that, they still haven't been paid. So the question is, how have we been able to motivate our own soldiers and policemen? How have we treated them? How do we want them to react to the nonsense and jagbajantis, excuse that kind of word, that we have being run by the political class? These things have effects. The soldiers, the policemen are human beings like all of us. Some of them are even 10 times sharper than the analyst who is talking to you on the radio. Because you'll be surprised, at the lower ranks of the military and the police, you have highly intelligent, well-educated people. So these are some of the things the president needs to look at, to find a well-rounded solution, amongst others. How strong is our intel? How, in any situation like this, intel is number one. Intelligence. How strong is it? How patriotic are our own people. When you refer to your people sometimes as bystanders, and what was it, the word you used to Wiki, don't listen to bystanders or whatever, use one derogatory word. How do you expect them to have a national spirit? So these little things cumulatively can lead to this kind of situation, and if care is not taken, it will not be limited to this. But I'm glad he's going. He will hear for himself. He needs to listen to them and see if we can find a solution. Just to run through other stories related to that, David Mark has warned of self-defense. David Mark, of course, is from Benue, and he said that the people might be forced to defend themselves. That is a political statement. The people will defend themselves. Who won't defend himself when you are under attack? So it says David Mark warns of self-defense. Insiders aiding killers in Benue. The CDS, yes, we know that. Tales of war as CDS IGP visit. Killings attacks are on Nigerian sovereignty and integrity. IGP. The governor says my state is bleeding. My state is bleeding. And Atiku says Benue violence has reached devastating crescendo. And so that's what we have. Another one is headline here, Nigerians seek action. Then there's another headline, attackers not herders, North Central Forum. PDP claims that over 600,000 Nigerians have been killed under Tinubu. And we've had our security experts. We'll also try to bring in some analysis on this development ASAP, as soon as possible.
I mean, looking at how sensitive Benue is to food security in Nigeria, and food is as important as oil, as a matter of fact. And when we have this crisis in Benue has been going on for a very long time.
Yeah.
And for a country who is facing food crisis, food insecurity, there's no gainsaying that we have that situation. Should the government, should President Bola Tinubu have declared some state of emergency in Benue, especially against the backdrop of many stakeholders in Benue saying that some of these gunmen are coming into Benue with sophisticated war rifles?
Well, as long as you don't tamper with the political structure, I think the Constitution allows you to declare a state of emergency. But if you don't take care of the underlying issues, you would have played your last card. Why the car was my law? Do you play what?
Oh yes, I have.
You would have played your last card. I hope that, and I hope that sincerely from the bottom of my heart, I hope that this Benue crisis doesn't degenerate into something nasty that's going on in my mind. Remember, minus all this, there is also poverty in that region. There is also the issue of poverty, and we'll see how it goes.